3, 2, we've got Smoke. 1, we've got RIP Takeoff. Hey, y'all, welcome to another edition of the Self Luv Show. This is the continuation of our Black Hollywood series, and we're honored to have Mr. Rolando Boyce in the building. He's going to pull up in about 30 minutes or so. As y'all know, we have our hubbub every show, our banter, me and the co-host. So, yeah, please share this link. If you guys are hip to the Shy, if you're from the Shy, let's go ahead and share this link and get them in the building. Chi-Town, you can cue the show when you're ready. Please like, share, subscribe. Please like, share, subscribe. This is Darnell, y'all, off the Shy.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the Master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times there seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Luv Show is a lesson, not a lecture.
We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
Right.
Brother,
I'm wiping it though. I'm gonna wipe it.
That's
I'm gonna
what's
wipe
up.
it. I'm gonna say, hey,
Tori's oldest brother. Between us, Tori made me at Beta, and so he just wanted to say a few words before we let you go here.
okay, yeah,
Brother Thomas, thank you so much for gracing us with your appearance, man. Grateful. You expanded our nation beyond belief. It's just a wonderful thing. And we would like to present you with the Self Luv Show first annual Ernest Lee Thomas Achievement Award.
oh man,
It's
oh
apropos that you are the
don't
first
do that to
recipient.
me.
And Noop, we call it the Raj.
We're gonna call it the Raj.
Oh, I love it. Oh man,
Yeah, so we
Oh,
have it
God.
on order. So it's gonna come here. We're gonna show it to the show, and then myself or Tasia deliver it to you or ship it to you from there.
Thank you, brother.
And even in this instance, if I could be of service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman, or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Self love, vision. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all, welcome to another edition of the Self Love Show. We got some theme music to get going over here, but we got a great one, another great one lined up for you cats. Love, honor, and respect to all. Welcome to the Self Love Show on This Ain't That Network. This is one of your co-hosts, 9 Mills. All praise to the ancestors, the Most High, and my late beloved Mama Sky. This evening, we're honored to sit with one of the co-stars from the hit Showtime series, The Chi, which is a drama that explores the lives of people on the south side of Chicago. So today we got a very special guest. As always, today, Mr. Rolando Boyce steps in the building. He plays Darnell out there. Emmett's Papa Duke, Emmett's dad, and a barbershop owner. Rolando is a Chicago native who grew up on the South Side. He's got a lot of stories to share about. So he grew up in Chicago. I think we need to get more details about if he's claiming the South Side. But I think he did grow up on the South Side, and he's got a lot of stories to share about how his upbringing shaped him to become the person he is and an actor. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another edutaining episode of the Self Love Show. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live in living color. Today's Tuesday, December 26th at about 7:18 in the Second City. As always, you cats can be anywhere in this magnanimous universe, but thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here together. Bear down, bear down, bear down. What down, Chi-Town? What up, Self Love? What you manifesting today, bro?
Self-love vision. Love. Now, you know me. Manifesting love.
Yeah.
What you manifest?
Hey, ditto, good brother. Pure, magnificent, unfiltered, unfettered. Some say harsh. Many have said tough. But it's love just the same, good brother.
No doubt.
Hey, so what's been going on in your neck of the country since we last did the show?
Well, you know, yesterday we had Mary, enjoy your family. Xmas Day.
All right.
That was a good thing.
All right. Yeah.
Weather has been pretty dang good. It was 50-something degrees on.
Yeah, kickoff. Yeah. I
Yeah.
saw that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's up. Yeah, I hope everybody did enjoy their Christmas and everything. I hope everybody did enjoy their Christmas, and I hope y'all got everything planned. Happy Kwanzaa and New Year's coming up. So, have a safe one to Self Love's point. So, but what to expect today? As always, we always kick it off. We have the Self Love Show quote of the day. Then we'll run a quick video. It's less than a minute, I promise. It's the More Growth and Development platform. It's what we stand upon. Tune in. Do not tune out. And then tattoo tyranny. Our government should work for us. And so we like to show our government interacting, and then we'll decide if it's tyrannical or not. If you're just here for the guests, we respect that. The guests will be in the building in about 20 minutes. We have this pregame banter. That's all it is. It's harmless pregame banter. Then we have our dome teaser. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste, so we will riddle you a dome teaser and give you until the end of the show to try to matriculate using your brain. Normally Self Love's pretty good at solving it. Sometimes people in the chat surprise me. They really surprise me. And so, if nobody gets it, I'll give you guys the answer to the riddle at the end of the show. And of course, today's topic is Black Hollywood. From Chicago to Hollywood. We got Rolando Boyce in the building. This is our number 6 in the series, 6 or 7. So honored to have this brother sit with us. If you guys haven't checked out The Chi, I definitely suggest you check out The Chi. If you don't pay for Showtime, then we can talk offline, and I can get you, I can get you the hookup. May or may not, maybe, or know someone, or I don't. All right, phone lines are open, you guys. 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll-free.
That number again is 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Completely and totally troll-free.
Trolls get what?
Holes around here, homie.
That's right. We'll make you famous. Yeah, I'll be your Huckleberry. So call in with that BS and we'll make one another famous. Yeah, let's go viral. All right, you guys, and while you're there, please like, share, subscribe, and repost this on all of your social media. Looking forward to this conversation. For this brother to take his, time out of his busy schedule. The SAG strike is over, so they're getting it in right now. So love, honor, respect. So you guys, please share this out so we can get more eyes and ears on this. And then we close the show up with my personal favorite part of the whole shebang, and that's Wordsmith's final words out there. Top of the dome, off the rip. He summarizes the whole show, puts it in a little bun for you guys, with some music that he created in the background. Definitely a gem. If you guys can matriculate, unpoke your lips out. You know what I mean? Poke your lips in your face for long enough for the end of the show. You would definitely enjoy it. Yeah.
No doubt.
All right. So, any announcements, brother?
Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell.
Yeah.
Get the people in here.
What he said.
They keep moving the goalposts and all that, but we can get monetized.
Yeah. If not, we'll do it for
The free.
no money. That's right. But I agree with him. All right, TATN. This ain't that network, you guys. So please subscribe while you're in and share the link. So any actors or actresses, I guess I can just say actors these days, right? It's genderless. Everything's genderless. So any actors out there, anybody in the industry, anybody who watched the show, we want to hear from you out there. But enough of my yapping. I'll turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the Self Love Show, where today we're unpacking and going through our regimen with fellow Chicagoan and actor Rolando Boyce of Showtime hit the shot. As always, got a very important video for you to watch. Silverback More Growth and Development platform, which we are building the Self Love Nation off of. But before that, we always have the Self Love Show quote of the day. I am impressed with the people from Chicago. Hollywood is hype. New York is talk. Chicago is work. Once again, I'm impressed with the people from Chicago. Hollywood is hype. New York is talk. Chicago is work. Michael Douglas, the actor.
Boy, I thought you was about to say Coach Moultrie.
Whew. He will say it. Got to work. Silverback More Growth and Development platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
Yes, sir. Number 10 is protect the women, children, and ourselves by any means. Stop that share, bro. By any means necessary. By any means necessary. That is number 10 in the platform. In case y'all missed it, big ups to L Boogie's in the chat. Big ups to Ace, Ace X2U. He's in the building. He said, happy family days. Lenny B said, give the big homie his flowers. Big dog, hope all is well, fellas. Happy holidays. Yes, sir.
Yes,
all
sir.
is well. Can you say all is well on YouTube there, fella?
Yeah.
All right.
They don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
All is truly well on this end. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what's going on with this computer out there.
It's all good. It's all good. If
Tripped me out. It wouldn't stop and it went to a different screen I haven't seen before. I'm like,
just stop that share.
yeah, had to get back to it to stop it. It was nuts.
It was all over the place. All right, y'all, and that was the More Growth and Development Program. If y'all didn't catch last week's show, I definitely suggest that you do. The Genius of the Fool. We had a Chicago South Side comedian, K. Ferg. Definitely suggest y'all check out his material as well. Powerful conversation.
Very powerful. And he's a thinker, and we got to see that firsthand. I advise everybody to go check that out.
Yeah.
Chock full of nuggets. Help you self out.
Came off kind of, homie the clownish. You know what I mean? Like, homie don't play that. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's how he kind of came off. You know? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we serious? Are we laughing here? I don't know what's going on. But yeah, he's got a great stick. Definitely suggest y'all check that out. And big ups to K. Ferg for popping in.
Facts.
And you guys, please like, share, subscribe. We only got one, and we're going to show you Tattoo Tyranny so we can, push this show along. Tattoo Tyranny, Self Love. This is a minute, 34 seconds here. Did you see 12 Days of Malcolm Xmas?
Nah, I pretty much stay unplugged, and we almost got to see it early.
Yeah. Big ups to Inside Edition. We're unpacking this Inside Edition. Fair use.
Fair
Damn it.
use.
Damn it.
A deputy racing to save a baby who is choking to death.
I think my baby's choking.
Hello.
The dad answers the door and they hustle up the stairs. Mom jumps up with little Carlos, who is just a month old.
She just holds it up and just says, please. That's all she can basically get out because she's in such shock.
Deputy Nicholas Pacheco begins infant CPR. You can hear him patting the baby's back. Was he not breathing?
No, he was not conscious, not breathing, and he was blue in the face. His little limbs were turning a little bit blue as well.
Oh,
A miracle. Within seconds, the little one is crying. Even though he's breathing again, there seemed to be something blocking his airway, so the baby CPR continues. Mom is sitting on the sofa watching
that
it
don't
all.
sound like a
The infant
pet.
CPR worked. A more robust cry. Mom puts her hands over her face. You can hear the deputy sigh in relief.
Knowing as much as I adore my own daughters and hearing him cry and seeing the color come back in his face, I was trying not to be emotional myself at that moment, but I know I still had a job to do.
Got him breathing, so I'm not sure what else he's got going on though.
Medics take over and place the baby in the back of an ambulance at the home outside Denver.
I don't feel like a hero. I'm just grateful that I was able to save his life.
Yeah, I mean, they say that all we do is go in on 12 and show 12, you know what I mean, in their worst predicament. And so there you go. Now, I just took CPR and nowhere in my training, now I don't have the level of training that he does, that they say pick the baby up and slap the shit out of the back like that.
well, that was infant CPR.
Correct.
That's what yeah. So,
But I had
Yeah.
infant and adult, and well, I mean, I'm just saying he saved it worked.
Yeah.
So, hey,
yeah, hey,
it worked.
I wouldn't, I didn't, they was talking about lightly pat him on the back, and that was not what he was doing at all. He was out there.
I'm not going to criticize. He saved the baby's life. so
No,
I
he
guess
did a good
that's-
job. I mean, I'm just
yeah.
saying whoever described it. I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about what they
Yeah.
described is not what happened.
But Self, I think before you walk out of the hospital with a baby, it should be some sort of mandatory CPR basic training, so you're not just sitting there.
I mean, you would think.
Right?
You would think.
An app. It could be a little simple app and a little quick test when you come out of there. Okay, you failed. We're going to let you take the baby home, but listen, you got a couple weeks to get this in order, or we got to have somebody around you all the time who can pass this simple, rudimentary, basic skills thing. You know what I mean?
It should at least be taught. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, why isn't that taught, when you're graduating high school and as a requirement when you're graduating 8th grade? Seriously, we can all be saving lives.
They don't want us to save lives. They, want it to go as it's going.
Gotcha. I'm not gonna argue with that. So, tyranny? Was that tyranny?
Oh,
Yeah, we like that. So big ups. We're not gonna sit here and try to act like some 12 aren't doing the right thing. We're not gonna do that. They're not all savages.
He's a police officer.
That's right. Probably following his oath. He is. He's a community officer. Somebody I wouldn't be afraid of out there. If he pulls me over and, IDs me and stuff like that. I wouldn't be scared. All right, but let's move on. We got Rolando Boyce, aka Darnell, in the building. That's gonna pop in here very shortly. So we're not going to do our next segment, so we'll skip past there, and we'll go straight to today's Dome teaser, which I'm going to waste my time dropping it in the chat because you guys have been stinking the place up lately. You were doing good, but, people started giving you compliments, you rest on your laurels, and now nobody's solving these things except for, Brother Wordsmith. But here we go, Self. Here's today's riddle. It's a riddle poem. There's one that has a head without an eye, and there's one that has an eye without a head. You may find the answer if you try. And when all is said, half the answer hangs upon a thread? Yeah. Yeah. There's one that has a head without an eye, and there's one that has an eye without a head. You may find the answer if you try, and when all is said, half the answer hangs upon a thread. I'll put it in the chat for you guys to try to matriculate. It's really for Brother Wordsmith. He's the only one that.
Yeah, I need to see this one. It's
There we go. All right. So that's today's dome teaser. I'd be rather impressed if anybody came up with that. Probably need to get Tyson Bajan in here. So you can process that quick. All right, but enough of the appetizers there, fellow. Well, let's hold on. Let's reach out to my man while y'all matriculating. Let's see here.
hangs.
What, you took a stab at it?
No, I was trying to see. It's a little emoji thing that's blocking the
I know.
glass.
I hate that.
So I can't see the answer.
I hate that emoji
Half
thing.
the answer is hangs upon a thread.
That's it. Type something else under there to move it. I hate that. I hate that it does that. I gotta tell YouTube that's the dumbest thing y'all came up with. Completely dumb.
Put it somewhere else.
What do you mean put it somewhere else? I can't move it.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah. It forced me to put these hearts, and I'm trying to just pin stuff. Let's see.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing back there, fella?
Pretty sure.
Huh? All right. All right. All right. So let's do this, bro. Let's go ahead and run that promo, and then we'll get this thing on the road. Next week on the Self Luv Show. I don't know if you guys watch the show. What is it? The Shy?
You don't disrespect my house and my family like that. What the hell you think this is?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Look, man, no excuses. My father wasn't there for me either. And I thought that as long as I was providing financially, that I ain't had to put in the time.
He also played on
But my daughter couldn't see that. She couldn't see how disgusting this place is.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Chicago's very own. He's an actor out here, you guys.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I hear it's a, fantastic show. And
very good episodes.
We're going to sit him down and take him through the ringer, and then discuss the life in Hollywood as a black man.
Man, this is going to be an expansive conversation.
Let me say this real quickly about my brother Kenny Young, because he's always been the ultimate optimist.
Ace took a stab at it. He said needle. I will tell you guys, he's halfway there. So Ace is in the building, product of Leo High School. I'm surprised. I didn't think you guys were matriculating in there. All they ever talked about was basketball when we were talking about Leo when I was coming up. I ever said you guys had any scholars there. So I was shocked to see you guys down there in Champaign when I got down there. I'm like, look at that. Leo guy.
I went there, so.
Yeah, but I thought you were on a basketball ride or a baseball scholarship or something. Some sort of athlete.
Too. Everybody thought I was older too. So,
yeah.
I did look older.
You had a full beard.
I was the youngest.
This guy had a beard like he has. It wasn't silver. He had a full beard at 17. In chest hair.
At 17. Definitely at 17. But at 13, it was coming in out there. I had to cut it for Leo, but
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, you guys stand by. We're waiting on the guest to pop in here. So, you guys got time to matriculate. Also, in the meantime, like, share, subscribe. Let's come on. We can do better than this. Hit that thumbs up.
Thumbs up, thumbs up. Let's do it.
Yeah, keep typing nonsense in the chat. What word am I looking for? The algorithm loves it. Type nonsense in the chat. The more you guys type in the chat, the more it likes. But Ace, you're halfway there. All right. Because you got to look at it. There's one that has a head without an eye, and there's one that has an eye without a head. You may find the answer if you try. And when all is said, half the answer hangs upon a thread. Self Love still matriculating. Still matriculating. Hey, next week, you guys, while we're standing by, Self, I was thinking next week's show, I don't want to poop on people's pagan holidays if that's, what they're into, because I celebrate it. I got my pagan on,
Got with my family. I don't know about the pagan.
Whatever you want to do to make yourself feel good about it, whatever you want to say, however you want to do that. But what I'm saying is, bro, and yeah, it is good family time, but I wouldn't want to do that. But Malaysian flight, I think we should cover like Pan Am flight. What was that one? 51. Then you had that with Ron Brown on there.
Oh,
yeah, yeah. It's a couple of American flights that are kind of taboo. I think we had to line those up like top 5 taboo flights you probably shouldn't talk about on YouTube. There's the title. That'll be the title. I like that title. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe we'll cover that. And if you guys, we do have Mouthpiece Included. So Mouthpiece Included, that's on Sundays before the Bears game. All right. But this week we're covering the Bulls. Playoffs?
Playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been playing their butt off a little bit.
They balling.
Man.
Hey, baby. Yeah, they balling.
Without Levine.
Yeah. Don't get me started.
You were said a long time ago.
He's one of those guys. So you remember those guys just come to MP and they could ball, but they didn't fit the system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we tell them we don't need all that. Wouldn't we? Yeah, you don't have to do all that in this system.
Just give us the ball. We'll get you the ball when you need it.
Yeah, that's right. Make a quick move, do you? But we don't need all that loading and reloading and you up there organizing and telling people to move out of your way.
And what's the name? Ain't been doing it either. DeRozan.
Playing in rhythm, huh?
Yeah, they've been passing the ball. They've been moving the ball and cutting.
You know why? He knows he's more likely to get it back than when Levine's out there.
I think they just made a conscious decision that they had to move the ball, especially because Levine wasn't out there.
I got what you're saying.
And man, it's working.
Yeah. So when he comes back, they need to stick with it.
Yeah, he's got to play in that.
Yeah.
Or they got to trade him. Sure.
Yeah. Hey, you guys stand by. The guest is gonna pop in here very shortly. We've got communication with the guest. So we're just giving you guys some banter and some hubbub in the meantime. You ain't came up with nothing to for the other half of Good job, Ace. I have to give you that. That's a
Yeah.
good. You know what I mean? Yeah. Ace has been pretty savvy with these.
Yeah, he's answered quite a few of them.
Yeah. Well, you guys used to tell riddles. You had a riddle class at Leo or something?
No. Shit, regulators talked in riddles. So.
Yeah, we did. Half the time I didn't know what the hell was going on. Oh, I thought we were talking about something else.
Yeah, we talked in riddles, so that.
Yeah, we definitely had our own little code.
Man, vernacular even.
Yeah. Some words are still being used by doctors and lawyers today.
Facts.
Yeah. So, I know we got some good stuff to cover here today, you guys. As Self Love said earlier, we're going to go through briefly, his early life, very briefly. And then we're going to briefly touch upon some foundational questions from the Self Love Show foundation briefly. And then we're going to get into, we got some great stuff lined up for you guys about, the actual show, his character, who's in charge of the character arc, things of that situation. Is it coming from him? I've always wondered stuff like that. So, say you have this character, right? You got this idea, it's got his backstory, you talk to the writer, but then as it goes on, you start learning more, don't you? Based upon the other characters, and you're getting more and more every week with the new script, and you're like, oh, that's got to be fun. That's got to be fun.
Absolutely. That's got to be, man, to be able to grow it, not a one-off.
But it could be stressful. I mean, or maybe not. Maybe some will see it as work, hard work or something. But it's what I'm saying is of the organic part versus, how much of it is organic versus, you know what I mean? Because they make it look so easy, and it's supposed to look organic, everything they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the long term, character arc, how much of that is organic versus, this has been focused. Like I've known this from the start. You know what I mean? Self, like maybe he can't say, because he doesn't know or.
Man, that seemed like that would be hard. I mean, it seemed like just like you said, you would learn more every time you get a script.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
I think so. Keeps it fresh.
Yeah, I mean, you work with what you already know.
Yeah.
And use the newer information.
Yeah, it seems to make sense.
Yeah. And they're building a character, so he's gonna kind of know where he's at with it.
Yeah, I like to know. I be talking to my wife about it sometimes, like, how much of that is because it's a whole process that I don't plan
Hey,
to know.
Tasia, speaking of your wife, she said, "Hey, y'all."
Oh yeah. I said hey earlier. But yeah, it's all right. Here we go. Yeah. All right. We got the guests in. All right, you guys, let's get it on. Enough of our banter. And
that's right.
And so you handle your business.
Welcome, my
Hello,
brother.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, right on.
Loud and clear. Man, thank you for coming and doing this. We appreciate you. It's going to be an expansive conversation.
No problem. Wait 1 sec. Hold on. Let me just close this door. Get a little.
All right, that's cool. At least he got the headphones on, so
yeah,
that's always a benefit. All right. One that has a head without a knot.
Right. All right. Sorry, fellas. How y'all doing?
No worries. Appreciate you.
Merry Christmas, man.
Yeah, Merry Christmas,
all
brother.
That good stuff.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate you doing this, man. I know y'all was like things were dead on the SAG strike, and then now it's over. So y'all hitting the ground running. So I really appreciate you doing this, brother. It means a lot to us over
It's
here.
all good, man. It's all good.
Hey, so I want to just tell you, like, real quick, why we do this show, because a lot of times our voices aren't really being heard,
Right.
and maybe 100 years from now, they'll be telling our story, or people who lived in this era. But like, imagine if you could have listened to your grandfather or somebody in your lineage from 100 years ago just talk about how things were, and his or hers perspective. So that's what we're doing, and we take everybody, man, from actors to everyday people, and just sit down, and we pretty much ask them the same series of questions, not the exact questions, but we're getting this data, bro, and hopefully it'll help somebody behind us, kind of get a good feel for what was going on, bro.
That's good. That's good. A little time machine, like a little time machine.
For sure. And
Got it.
Also, it helps your lineage can actually see from the same point of view what you actually said.
Man, can you imagine? All right,
Yeah.
but because our people didn't have this technology. So, bro, I just kind of want to go through this just real quick. The early life part. When and where was you born? And can you describe, like, kind of what it was like coming up during that era? You don't have to get like specific years, but when and where was you born?
I was born in Chicago, Illinois, South Side of Chicago. I mean, I obviously don't remember, but the hospital. But I was born in, if you know Chicago, what was it? Company of St. Mary's Hospital. I think it was on 95th.
Yeah,
Grew up
by the
in
plaza.
this by the plaza. Yeah, so
Yeah,
I grew up on the South Side of Chicago in the 70s. You know, I grew up in a little neighborhood called Lake Meadows, which was, you know,
you
back
were.
then
Hey, he was low end adjacent.
low end, but
Adjacent, definitely
it
adjacent.
seemed like paradise.
Yeah.
Lake Meadows was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, back then, just like,
Yeah.
just before the 80s, 70s, well, even in the 80s, it was just like, we did as kids, man. We went outside and played and had our imaginations. And, the good thing about living, what my childhood was, I'm trying to sum it up and not take too long, but, we had so many different guys in the building I lived in that we were all separated by about a year or so, but we all played together, man. So it was just like, one sport after another. Everybody put, it was just sports and games and Atari and all that crap. So just good times, man. Good times.
Yeah, man. I remember my mom used to drive past Lake Meadows. Man, that was like the Jeffersons to me. I was like, Mom, you got to get an apartment in there. We'd be moving on up. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
here's the thing about it, and so I lived in we called it Old Lake Meadows, New Lake Meadows. So Old Lake Meadows was the 12-story buildings.
Mm-hmm.
New Lake Meadows was like the buildings that was like 22 or 20 something stories. Those really seemed like the Jeffersons. Ours was, we was across the street from Lawless and Lake Grove Village, and with a Jew and all that stuff. So it was still cool, but back. We didn't know no better. We didn't know no better. You know what I'm saying? We just was kids having fun. We did know not to go up on 35th though.
Low end adjacent. But let me ask you, were you having any interactions with any people that weren't black? Either in the neighborhood, in the building, or school during those times?
Not really, because Lake Meadows now, I've gone over there and it's totally different. But back then, it was predominantly black. The people I saw were black. It was just like a nice middle class neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody I knew was black. But I went to the neighborhood school, was called Pershing on 31st and Rhodes, and it was a predominantly black school. It was a great school.
What about the teachers at Pershing? Were they white or black?
That's a good question. You know, I think for like starting out, like I remember kindergarten, I was an Asian teacher. I do remember one white teacher, but I think they were kind of proactive, man. They started having black teachers
Mm-hmm.
early on. I remember like my, let's say like third, fourth, maybe fifth grade, I had a white teacher, sixth black, seventh black, eighth black. It's funny you bring that up because I was just thinking about how my seventh grade teacher, I hope she's still alive. Her name was Miss Harrison, man, but she thought out of the box and I hope I'm not going off
No, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
topic, but she was such an incredible teacher that she made every year when you got in her class in seventh grade, you had to get this book called Black Voices. It was this thick book full of poetry and short stories and like pieces of autobiographies from like Malcolm X, Frederick Douglass, and we would have to go. We didn't go from the beginning, like we skipped around in the book, and it gave us so much culture.
Mm-hmm.
We was reciting Gwendolyn Brooks
Langston
and
Hughes.
Langston Hughes and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff, man, and reading about Frederick. This was not in the Chicago Public Schools curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
She went outside of the box, and one of the things that we had to do was we had to take something from there, and we had to get up on the stage, and we had to do a presentation. Whatever we wanted to do, if we wanted to sing it, if we wanted to act it out. And I remember that was like one of the first times I felt like I was on stage, and it was, but I still have that book in my garage. Like it's just like it's incredible that she was able to do that, and we need teachers and stuff like that to do that because the education we were learning in school, it wasn't, especially back then, we didn't get no black education, African American education. And if she didn't teach us that, man, I would have never known.
Well, since you were there, so because of her, now you're out in front of people, you got a presentation you're doing. Do you remember thinking that first time, like, man, I'm afraid, I'm terrified to get up here? Or, do you think you were less afraid than your peers? Do you think it came more natural to you? Because this is a big question when people do stuff. They say, he's a natural, and I find it could be kind of offensive to people who put that work in at the same time, to make it look so natural. But do you think you had a natural inclination for that, or did you have that stage fright and you had to kind of get over it over time?
I think I still had the stage fright, but I do remember let me put it this way. I wasn't a great student. A lot of subjects didn't intrigue me.
Mm-hmm.
English, history intrigued me. And especially when we were doing that, I was so prepared. Me and my buddies, we did this poem about Booker T and W.E.B. Du Bois. And I was so prepared. I knew his line. I knew my lines.
Mm-hmm.
I was just, of course, I still had the stage fright, which, I still sometimes will get if I go on stage. But I did feel very comfortable. I felt very comfortable. I wish I would have known that I could do that as a profession. I didn't know that back then. I didn't think acting was a profession, but it just, it just felt, it didn't take me until I got like into my 20s and had to think about what I wanted to do in life that I had to think back and like, man, I actually had a good time doing those projects and performances and things like that. But, Chicago is a working class city, and I always just thought that I had to figure out how to get a job and work,
Yeah, especially then, like
Yeah,
that was the reality. And Chicago gets cold in the
yeah,
wintertime. Yeah, you need a
yeah,
job, a roof over your head.
yeah,
You need something solid.
yeah,
Post office or
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Military. Hey, Self, you got a couple questions, bro?
Yeah. Can you provide the Self Love Nation with any colloquialisms, sayings that you live by? or heard as a child from elders that stuck with you?
That I live by, or that's a good thing. I would say that I still believe, and maybe it comes from just the Chicago background of working hard. I believe in working hard, whatever you do. Nothing comes easy. I think you got to put in the work, um, uh, and treat everyone with respect. I sincerely believe in that. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. I'm not. I don't put myself on no kind of pedestal, or make sure I eat a slice of humble pie every day, because life has ups and downs. So I'll never treat nobody with disrespect or anything like that. At least I definitely try not to. I'm in a fortunate business, and it's fortunate to be working when we work, and doing something that we love to do. I always try and tell people that people may want to say like they want to get into acting, or whatever they want to do. They say if you love it, do it. Don't think about the money. Don't think about whatever it comes with it, or being
fame or
prestige and fame and all that. You love to do it, do it. Just do it. Don't think about that.
Facts, man, no doubt.
Absolutely. You say put that work in and stay humble.
Oh man, yeah, you got to put the work in. I mean, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But one of the things I do, as far as what I say, I grew up like watching sports and this everything like that. I have such admiration for athletes, and when I see the work, great athletes, Jordan, Kobe, and the work that they put in, first in the gym, first to leave, that's putting in work. You know what I mean? And I try to emulate that to what I do, and just trying to make sure that I'm as prepared as I am, as knowledgeable as I am with the material. I still like to. I'm not in any kind of shape like an athlete, but I still like to physically be ready. So I run like almost every day. I run a couple of miles a day, and just try and put in work just to physically feel good and feel ready about myself. Those are those things that kind of help me too. So I was just trying to follow up with your question.
Yeah, mind, body, and spirit. They all go hand in hand.
They all go hand in hand. Absolutely.
For sure. Who do you credit for helping you to rise above the pressure and perceived challenges in our community as a child?
As a child? I think my peers that, as I said earlier, I grew up in a building with
the older guys.
The older guys. So the older guys, because if they were, into some trash, I would have probably been into some trash,
Right.
But
he's in a building with the Jeffersons, and they're in school, and then they're going to St. Ignatius, and they're going to college, and they're coming back.
Bingo, man. Yeah, all of them. I was more on the younger side.
Right.
So everybody, was about 4 or 5 ahead of me, and all of them graduated from high school. They all were going off to college. All were, choosing careers. And, like I said, I wasn't the greatest student. I went to, I think now I might have told you, I went to a couple of different high schools. But, as I started to slip a little bit in high school, I said, man, I got to get my shit together. Because if I got to graduate from high school, everybody else graduated from high school. What I look like not graduating? So I knew
everybody in this building wasn't telling them, man, F school, stand out here on this corner and move these packs, right? Right.
And even that, I was gone from Lake Meadows by then. By the time I was in high school, I was like off 66 and Eberhard. But those
right in it,
man.
Yeah, right. Those guys, my peers were still influence in my life, and I didn't want to be the one that was, not, doing up to their standards, and it wasn't, I had my, of course, my parents and my mother and my father around. Well, I was raised by my mom, but my dad was around. But it was more, it was more my peers, man. I didn't want to look bad. I had great teachers. Like I said, of my Miss Harris, 7th grade teacher. I think I had great teachers throughout my education who helped me. But I hope that answers the question. That's what I could think of right off as a child. That's what I could think of who helped me as a child. Now, as I get into adulthood, there's different people, but as a child, definitely my peers, man.
Yeah, that's huge. That's just because we talk about that all the time, self-love, and in this generation, like a lot of violence was in Chicago recently, and people were saying, yeah, it was the older guys making the younger guys. And I'm like, man, I remember the older guys used to be like, man, y'all get out of here, go to school. Yeah. I'm like, man, things have gotten awry, but it depends on where you are. And
who's in your circle.
Yep.
Who's in your circle? If your circle is, out to no good, you probably might go, you could dip. And of course, I don't know about y'all, but I know I've been in situations when I was growing up where, it was like, come on, nah.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm gonna pass. You know what I mean? And those split decisions of knowing when to follow someone and when to hold up. And I think I'm gonna chill. Could have been life changing decisions.
Man.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Now you mentioned education. So I want to ask you this. We ask everybody this one. Choosing, if you had to choose between education, spirituality, or financial literacy, which of those tenets would you prescribe to end poverty amongst Black people in America? Education, spirituality, or financial literacy?
To end poverty.
Yes.
That's a good one. I think education. Man, it's so, because it's like all of those are great. I mean, because I want to say spiritual. I want to say the spirituality, because if you know
you're probably going to get to the education, right?
Yeah.
And then just what you were just saying about, no, I'm not taking that ride with y'all. You know what I mean? That's where that spirituality comes in.
Yeah. But I mean,
but financial literacy, you can make all the money in the world, and if you're just throwing it away like we tend to do,
that ain't gonna help. That ain't gonna help.
It ain't
That's
gonna
the
help.
reason I didn't want to say that. But this, the spirituality, I just think that might actually, I mean, they go neck and neck. That and education, man, that goes neck and neck. But if I had to choose one, I'd say education, because
I think I'm gonna say education too, and I'm gonna say why. And here's might help you. I know atheists who are educated, and they're not murderers and stuff. You know what I mean? But they're doing well financially, and that should prove right there that we're just talking about ending poverty.
Right.
Yeah, it's probably some type of education, whether that's a trade. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
hope that helps.
I also feel like education kind of encompasses the other two. Kind of. I mean, financial literacy is kind of educating yourself.
And education doesn't have to,
too.
Yeah. And
I mean, if you follow a
when
practice.
you say education, it could be any kind of education. Could be a trade.
Yeah.
Could be, whatever you want to learn, whatever you want to pick up on. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No wrong answer to that, bro. I just like to hear what different people have
I know,
answered.
but shoot, I was feeling the pressure. I was like, oh, shit.
All right. How can America evolve past racism? I know
question right
that's a
there, huh?
tough question, and it's a tough question. But I imagine they're going to be asking these same questions 100 years from now as we were asking 100 years ago.
I think the one way that right off the top of my head is to teach love, that we're all created equal, that we're all humans. I think a lot of times things are passed on. Racism can get passed on. Not understanding how the next man or woman or is living and able to live and breathe the same as you. Like I think I said earlier, like I treat everyone with respect, no matter what your race, creed, sexual orientation, whatever it is. You breathing just like me.
Mm-hmm.
We may not agree on some things, but I don't dislike you or hate you because of it. I think it's best when we can get along, because racism is a horrible disease.
Yeah, it's the original sin in America, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a loaded question, and I don't even expect us to have the answers. Like, I will say this: like, we don't debate on this show because that's all it seems like people do, and then they get into unproductive conversations. The one thing I'll add, I should say, is the racism, bro. How can I put this? Okay, you said something. You said, we can teach. We have to educate. You know, maybe contributions and love, but when we're all born, we don't have that in us. None of us have hate. Like, you don't even see. What's crazy. And then at some point, to your point, you said it's taught. Like, we're learning it from somewhere. That's what's crazy about it. That's what's crazy about it.
Even to that point, that sometimes it's taught, and sometimes the amazing thing is that sometimes people reject it. There are some times where people may be taught racism, but then
Raised
like I
by
have a good,
racists and they reject it. Yep.
they reject
Yep.
it. They see a different light,
Yeah.
and so and then some people may not be born and something happened to them, or they feel like something was taken and they end up blaming a race for it. It's just not it's not it's it's crazy, and what's thinking about, we're all from Chicago, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Southside.
Yeah.
Southside
And
right now.
how in Chicago, I think I mentioned this one time in an interview. I said it's still such a very segregated city.
Period.
And yeah, I mean,
It's still
super. I mean, when I to put it this way, when I'm there sometimes, and I'm downtown, and I'm like, I'm used to being out here in LA, and you walk past speak,
Man, hello. Yeah,
people,
whatever. Yeah. You don't
man,
exist. Yeah.
oh my God, I'm like, dang, I don't want nothing from you, just to say hello, but
Right.
yeah, it seems like it's such a divided city. People
Man.
they think I'm tripping when I say that. Mm-mm.
I'm here on the South Side now, and I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I hear the
That's-
younger people talk about how like people like 20, 19, and if they're still saying it, I'm like, so they came up in the same type of segregation that we came up in. If I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It ain't the same, but it's still segregated. Like there are more areas where you can operate in that you couldn't at all.
That you couldn't even be in, yeah.
Right. But now there's still
you mean
areas
back
that
in the
you
day?
yeah, back in the day you couldn't operate. You can go
Right.
operate in those areas now, but there's still areas that you can't operate at all.
Yeah.
Right.
not
After
safely.
dark, you need to be kind of
Like
not around it.
like a Bridgeport or something like that?
Parts of Bridgeport, it shrunk because I mean there's in Canaryville, it shrunk down.
Maryville, was it Marinette Park over around that way, boy?
Yeah, I
You
mean we got people that live in Marinette Park, but there's situations that you don't want to be involved
yeah,
in there.
yeah.
Mm.
You know
And
what I
then,
mean?
and about the schools too, the segregation at the schools,
Oh,
and stuff like that. Bro, I want to ask you one more question, then we're gonna get into the art
Yeah.
and culture because we get past this heavy stuff.
Yeah, so no problem. I'm sorry. I'm going
No,
off.
no, no. It's us. We take everybody there because we got to get this information out there. And then we're gonna
For
take a
sure.
quick 5-minute break, and then we'll get into art and culture and the other stuff. So,
Okay.
but I did want to ask you, what do you think we as black men can do to protect our women and children? Because our women and children seem to get abused and come up missing a lot more than any other race. So, just brother to brother, what do you think we can do as men to fix this?
I mean, I think we have to be great fathers and role models. Number one, um, I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, a child, any black child that has a strong father, they usually are all right. Sorry, I'm sorry about that.
It's all
Let me
good.
get this dog out.
Man, he was about to drop a gem too.
yeah, it's completely all right, bro. The cat comes across the screen from
Yeah,
time to time.
I'm surprised.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, she ran off. She must have heard the dog. Yeah,
Who? Oh, your cat?
yeah, my cat. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that, but yeah,
She visits the show.
oh,
Yeah, but
really?
you were saying that when there was an effective father, you were saying a lot of times when there's effective child, you were talking about the
Yeah,
father.
I mean, and not only you could see the difference. I remember even dating and things like that. When someone doesn't have their dad in their life, it really causes a shift or a change in some kind of capacity. I I had my first child when I was 21, but I knew then that I needed to be in my child's life. There was nothing that was going to keep me from being in their lives, and even when there's someone that's not my child, if it's someone who comes across my path and who is a youth or somewhere that I can guide them and help them and send positive vibes their way, I try to do it because it's very important, man. The man, I mean, women. I'm not taking anything away from them. They are mothers. They do an incredible job, but it's something about a man, black man, that it's that can comfort and can make someone feel better, allow them to strive and do better in life. That's my opinion, from what I've experienced.
Hmm. Man, bro, yeah, it's just funny. A lot of times when I see these young men, because we kind of know what they're going through, what some of their thoughts may be, because we're so gallant, and we hide things well. Uh, Oftentimes though, when I'm dealing with them, I call them young king or king, and I do see a change in their posture, their body language. It's subtle. You got to be paying attention. Man, King, yeah, you say something positive. You shining out here, something like that. And because we don't get that. Black
We
men, we
don't.
don't tend to just get random compliments if we don't get them from
Hmm.
ourselves.
Hmm.
Yeah,
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 and not only that, to each other, like
right.
saying to your boy, man, I love you, man. Make sure you take,
Yeah,
me and my guys sometimes check in, just checking in with you, dog, making sure you
yeah,
good. You going getting your checkups, dog. Make
yeah,
sure you straight, man. We gotta hang in there. Just
man.
it's a different thing that happens when we can share that love with each other, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've heard different guys say pretty much, I think along the lines of what you're saying, be present, be healthy, be of right mind. Cause you know, when you're on that jet, they tell you secure your mask before you try to help anybody who's helpless, because if your mask doesn't go on, they're not going to make it, you know? And so, yeah, be better us's and better role models and things. We got to be there. I mean, all right, I'm gonna stop rambling, but I'll leave it at this. I remember freshman year, I went to this girl's house,
Mm-hmm.
you know, to study all this and that. And I remember I rang the doorbell and her dad was in the upstairs window. What's on your mind? You know what I mean? But that's all, folks. Oh, nothing, you know, I didn't, wrong house. So yeah, it's to your point, it is a major difference when there's a man around in so many different ways than when there isn't, bro. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, most definitely. That's hilarious.
I had to fear God. And you know, my dad wasn't like there, you know what I mean? So
Right,
I wasn't expecting that, man.
right.
But bro, I'm gonna just mute you, or you can log off and come back. We're gonna be back in 6 minutes. Give us a chance to stretch our legs. And I got about 30 minutes worth of your time left, bro, if you can do that for us.
Most definitely. I could just mute, or you need me to log off?
Yeah, no, I can stop your video and we can mute you. You don't have to do nothing. Just we'll be back in about 6 minutes.
Okay, bet.
All right.
Yes, yes.
And if y'all got any questions, put them in the chat.
Yes, put them in the chat. Y'all know how it is. Early show, and you already know we're finna get into it. Got through good stuff for the aggregation of information. But now it's time to expand the conversation. We'll be back. Y'all know how it go.
Let me say this real quickly about my brother Kenny Young, because he's always been the ultimate optimist. Always. If we were the Avengers, he was always Captain America. He would find the positive out of anything.
Man.
Even when he ain't feeling positive, which that's what makes it so much dope.
Yes.
Because, and I didn't know that. I just assumed he was always positive. Like, oh no, he deals with his own shit. He's savvy enough to say, you know what? You need this positivity. I'm gonna deal with my shit too. In that level of optimism, man, he taught me how to be optimistic and how to dream and how to elevate the dreams. You know what I'm saying? Because once again, being from Chicago, being a realist, I was looking at things like, man, this ain't gonna happen. This ain't gonna, I don't know about this. I don't know about all that.
And it's 40 below zero, 2 months out of the year. I need a roof over my head. I need a job.
I need a bro. I need
killing people out.
I need some gas in my car. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
He was very instrumental in me learning how to dream in a healthy manner, in a healthy, productive manner.
Moses fleeing the people from Pharaoh.
Right, let my people go.
40 years in a desert.
Manna.
Let's talk about what manna truly is. And
Shaganoski's in the Middle East right now saying manna is Peter.
Can we put some sensibility to that? Being in the desert, and our Father, the Creator, loves us beyond. He's going to rain down bread in a desert. Moses summoned the strongest men for them to dig, and that's where the whole term of so it is above, so it is what?
Below.
That means that Moses had the science for them to dig and find water.
Yeah, like the elephants can do.
So what do you find, even in the desert, when you dig down and find water? Do you find bread or do you find plants?
I wanted to do business. My brother became famous, and we had an opportunity to leave that world and go into another world. That opportunity came, hip hop hit. Charlie told my brother Eddie, yo, this is the wave of the future. This is going to be huge. Eddie did not believe so. It's a fad, and moved forward. And then there was an opportunity. I wasn't a rapper. It was an opportunity because of my brother's fame for me to get a recording contract with Clive Davis's company, with Arista Records. I could have been afraid and said, nah, but I wasn't. I've never been raised to be afraid. So I took advantage of the opportunity.
And I did it. And I started learning how to write, learning how to rap. It was a perfect time. It was all, pretty much it was new. I went from being an artist to, we did some things with touring and merchandising. I touched a lot of aspects of Eddie's career, and then kind of just graduated to my own thing.
Social programming, man, is off the chain, and we witnessed it. We got to see it firsthand. I often say that hip hop went from having fun to scholars to selling drugs to thugs to doing drugs
and to literally drive by mass killing women and children in the neighborhood. Like, that's okay. Killing the elders, shooting up the block, that's all good stuff. The drug raping, all of that stuff became the cool thing to do. And then there was the mass materialism, and that kind of started during our era.
Yeah.
You talk about all these brands. I didn't know nothing. We didn't know nothing about half these brands that you could cop at Macy's and Nordstrom and all of that stuff. And some rapper hadn't told us about them. You know what I mean? So then the next step, if you ain't got a job or you don't have the means to get it, then what you gonna do to get those goods that we couldn't afford? You gonna sell drugs. You gonna do what you got to do to get that stuff.
Because we don't want to hear what they have to say. We're like, no, we want what we want when we want it right now. But see, sometimes that right now is not the right time. And we can't see that with our natural eye. We don't understand that if we just hold off just a little longer, it will be more beneficial, more fruitful, more productive down the road when we're actually ready for it. Because there are some things that we pray for and we're not ready to be responsible for that very thing, And maybe I wasn't ready to be responsible and go out and speak back in the day with my book. Someone very close to me that I love dearly said to me, I said, "You proud of me?" They were like, "Proud of what? What am I proud of?" When the book came out. Because you could have been saving or helping people a long time ago if you hadn't procrastinated. So a part of me was like, wow, they're right. But then a part of me was pretty much the way you said earlier. Hey, look, the time is when the time was.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. It don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the Black community, for real. Like, people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro,
They're so ignorant. So
hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to
the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it,
this platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy
and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro.
Don't stop. Self Love Show. We're back on.
Is irrelevant to the intelligent. Knowledge,
welcome
wisdom,
back.
Understanding is what we represent. It's the Self Love Show.
It's the Self Love Show, y'all. Today we are expanding our consciousness with brother Rolando Boyce, and we've gone through early life and our foundational questions, and now we're gonna get into the meat of things and let y'all know. So far, he's been outstanding and contemplative and
magnanimous, bro. Magnanimous.
Yes. Facts.
Magnanimous. I'm looking forward to the second half of this joint. All right, sir. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into art and culture. What inspired you to I know earlier you said you acting wasn't even, man, you know what I mean, in your vision. So what inspired you to become an actor?
I think as I was in my 20s, I had gone off to college, started off pre-pharmacy, realized I hated science, joined the Army Reserve to try and help
College
pay.
will make you hate science, man. Go
Oh
ahead.
man, went into Army Reserve to help pay for
Ooh-wee.
college, and then got caught up in that Desert Storm War, and then when I came out, me and my lady, we got married. I started kids, and the marriage. This was all in Houston, Texas, and after a couple of years, marriage fizzled. Decided to go back to Chicago, and I was just, I had my kids were pretty young, and I was just waiting tables. And I was at Bennigan's right over there by the art museum, and
Yeah, that was the number one Bennigan's in
that
the
was the number
country.
one Bennigan's. Yeah,
And then it went out of business, but the employees bought it or something to keep it open, and the money was
so,
so good. Yeah.
yeah. And I met this waitress, and she was studying acting, and I was like, damn, I always thought about being an actor. Which I say I thought about it. It's just that like if I would see a movie or a show that captured me, I was like, man, I would always think, man, I think I could do that. Back in the day, watching movies, I would like memorize lines, and I just knew it. I felt like I knew it, but I was just like, I always thought that's something I think I could do. Just didn't know how to start, and I told her, I said, I always thought about doing that. And she said, you should do it, and I was like, I should, and she was like, yeah, and I said, how? But I didn't even know how, and she was like, just take you some classes and learn you some scripts and get you a monologue, get you some pictures, start auditioning. This is all for theater. I was only thinking theater at that time because most of the actors who I can appreciate, came through theater. So
Especially in Chicago. It's a lot of theater.
a lot of theater, and I did it. And once I did it, this was like in my may have been around 26, 27 years old. And once I started it and got a feel and a taste for it, I instantly knew this was it. There was nothing else I wanted to do. Nothing
And
else I wanted to do.
that's truly amazing. It's an amazing story. I was in a situation where, I could have been murdered, right? Just innocent bystander situation. And, when they say your life flashes before your eyes, I was, man, maybe if I had finished school here and did that, and didn't do this and didn't do that and did this. So just that's what goes for your eyes is how did I end up in this place at this time in this moment around these people when I could have been anywhere else in the planet. So for you to be in the situation through all those different things you said, you served in Desert Storm, thanks for your service. You had the first marriage, you end up back home, you're at Bennigan's, and you just meet a waitress who's acting. And now, you know what I'm saying? And look at you. I mean, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah. Way it's really, I mean, maybe somehow, but I don't know. That it was just when I even say that, maybe a year or two before that, when I was in Houston, it was like a sign I had to come back home. To get away from there and come back home. Something was just telling me to come back home. And I say also that when I was in high school, I did not know. Like I even took a drama class in high school, but I just did not. I mean, this, mind you, it's the '80s, late '80s. How many black people did you see on TV? How many, major black actors did you know? I just didn't. It didn't seem.
Yeah, Sidney Poitier. I mean,
Yeah. But it was like I
what's
didn't
my
even
man
know.
name from Lando Calrissian? But go ahead, my fault.
Yeah. Billy D.
Right,
No. Yeah,
Billy
for
D.
sure.
Yeah, Billy D.
It was just like I didn't even think I don't think I had a counselor to say, are you into the arts? Do you want to go to theater school? I didn't even know I could
They wasn't
do
doing
that.
that. No,
I didn't even know I could do that.
Right.
I didn't even think that was a choice. Go to theater school for what? Then how am I gonna make money? I just did not think of it as being
a profession.
Had someone said, what do you like to do?
What
True
subjects do you
guidance
like?
I probably could have had a better, but no regrets. Everything worked out the
Right.
way it should have and the
Mm-hmm.
way it did.
A
But
true
so
guidance
when I do
counselor.
talk to exactly, so when I talk to young people now
Mm-hmm.
and they trying to figure out what they want to do, I always, what subjects do you like? What do you really like to do? What? Because when you pick a career, you're gonna have to do that for your rest of your life. Don't pick something that. Look, I'm glad I figured out I couldn't stand science because that pharmacy, oh man, it was driving me crazy. I was
And a
like,
lot
no,
of
this
those
ain't gonna
people
work.
in that industry are making a lot of money, and they went
Oh, they
crazy.
do. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, yeah, you can, but I mean, it's better if you like what you do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's man, that was a great story. Let me ask you this. Is it fair that black actors have an perceived expectation to accept or refuse certain types of roles as opposed to white actors?
Repeat that one more time.
Is it fair that black actors have an expectation to accept or refuse certain types of roles as opposed to white actors? Like, for instance, um, you know, the gay characters wearing a dress, cooning, or whatever, it might be, that suggestion, that
Mm-hmm.
we always have to be the strong, or is
Yeah,
that fair? Is that fair?
it's not fair. It's not fair, and I think it comes down to the individual of what you'll take, what you not willing to take. You don't have to. I mean, and then um, you know, offers. We're talking about offers, and someone offers you. You have to be a certain level of your career before you start getting offers. Now, if you're
You mean
auditioning,
you're not auditioning? They offered you
right,
I
right,
got you.
right,
Okay.
right. But if you're auditioning for it, sometimes I may see auditions and no, I don't want to do that. I'm not even gonna put myself in the pool for it. I don't need that. But um, I think you can. I think there's a strategic way of picking. I'm not gonna say I've played like and then nothing against gay, but I mean, when I did R. Kelly's Trap in the Closet, I was the pastor who was in the closet. He was literally in the closet. He was gay, and I knew it. And they told me before I was hired. But they did tell me also that it was nothing physical that you had to do. It was just, and I thought, okay, well, I'm an actor. I can stretch my imagination and play this
Right.
role, and I
Right.
just did it to the best of my ability. But had it, I think that sometimes people get in a compromising position where you want to work. You have an opportunity and you're not working and you get something, you may want that job. So it's tough.
Yeah,
And
and it's easy for me to say, and then somebody's offered me this, and it's X amount of dollars, and my line might
yeah,
have been tongue kissing a man, but that's X amount of dollars, and I could suck it
it's
up for one day. You know what I mean? And just,
maybe it's a tough thing,
Yeah, no.
and you know what, and then I also
oh
will say that
man,
it's this
it's acting.
depending on the white actor, because some white actors feel that, like I got a couple of white friends that
Mm-hmm.
they still, yeah, they want some, they working as hard as we are at some
Mm-hmm.
point. Now they may get a
Mm-hmm.
lot more offers, but
It's a lot more of
it
them
depends.
going for those offers too. So there's
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that too. Yeah, that's
yeah.
a tough one though, man. It's a I know for myself, like I said, I've had some roles that come up, and I'm okay now, especially now. I'm okay. I'll
Well,
pass.
and I consider with you, because my wife's an actor. I consider you guys to be craftspeople, artists. So that's
Right.
why we always ask black artists wherever they come from this question, like that responsibility to culture versus, man, obligation to self and family and things like that. And it's interesting. What role or responsibility do you think, if any, actors have played, in our community? I mentioned Sidney Poitier earlier.
You said what actors do what?
What role or responsibilities do you think black actors have played, for the black community?
Oh man, pioneers, pioneers, and they um helped raise us. Shoot, in certain aspects, you know, uh, um, James on Good Times, shoot,
Man, I
that
was
was
thinking
almost
Good
everybody's
Times. Go
father.
ahead, bro.
You
Go
know what I
ahead.
mean? He was everybody's
Yeah.
father. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And you learned your lessons through there, especially if you were raised by a single parent. And I was watching Claudine a couple of weeks ago with James Earl Jones, and I mean, it was just the especially the strong strong actors who really do their diligence and do the job, man. I loved Sidney Poitier growing up. I got a chance to meet him once while I was out here, and I don't usually do struck people, get all caught up. When I saw him, I ran as fast as I could to get over to him, and just told him, I said, man, you influenced my life, and you inspired me. And he said, oh, you made my day. I said, man, you made mine too. That was it. We yelling at each other. Because I had to catch him as he was going down the escalator, and we were yelling back and forth. But that was it. That was the only person so far that I could say that I was like, I got to tell this man how much. I used to watch Raising the Sun,
man,
when I was a kid. Man, I mean, it's just those. What Spike Lee did with all his movies and able to cast them. Those are the movies that inspired me to say like, oh, we're on TV. We're in this movie. I can do. That's what made me say, I think I can do that. I started seeing Denzel on the screen. I mean, I'm not likening myself to Denzel, but I'm saying, damn, that's
The
a
fact
black
that
man.
he was there, yeah,
He was there, and I was like, shit, I feel like I can do that.
I think that's why they limited us as a people as far as barriers to entry, because that's what happens. Yeah, I could do that. And my brother went to college. I can do that. And my parents went to college. I can do that. That kind
Think
of
about,
thing.
yeah,
They
think
got a
about the kids.
business. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was thinking about the kids who grew up when Obama was in administration. They think I could be president. When we were coming up, you didn't think you could be president.
Man,
I ain't
I
never seen
told
no black
somebody
president
I
before.
didn't think that was gonna happen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I'll be 100. I did
Yeah.
not think it was gonna happen in my
So
lifetime.
either.
And nevertheless, from Chicago, I was like, man, this is
From
crazy.
Chicago-ish.
Yeah.
But he claimed Chicago, and that's the important part.
Exactly.
Yeah, he claimed Chicago.
Still
All right.
do.
All right. So how has coming up in Chicago, how do you think that's affected your craft? And I know it's ironic that, you literally star in a show called The Shy. But yeah, how do you think that has helped you or maybe inhibited you in some ways?
I think that to always keep it real. Chicago is in me through and through, man. And I got to keep it 100 when when I'm on stage, or if I come to set, or and I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna put in my work. I'm not gonna half-ass it. You know, the, the when I say that being able to come back and be on the Shy, it's personal. It's business, but it's personal. And when I got the opportunity, I didn't even, I didn't know where it was going to go, whatever the case may be. But when I got the opportunity, I said, I remember thinking like, I want people to see my character and know he's from Chicago. And if I get somebody, if I'm in Chicago and a cat stopped me and like, man, you remind me of my uncle and my pops, man. You did the shoot. That's better than any award I could ever win. As long as if they say that felt real, that's all I want to hear. That's all I needed to hear. You know,
Man, that's that's all I've heard about the show, you know, um, from cats from Shy. Like, you know, it's the realest that they've seen, you know, the depiction of what you can do, you know, in that
what you could
venue.
do on,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. But
absolutely.
that's you know, that was just for me personally, you know.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because you know, a lot of times, man, and I'm not hating at all, but okay, so I'm not hating at all. So like literally it'd be like you, what I'm gonna describe is like you playing a cat from London, if it was a show called The London or whatever. And you went over there and you had a British accent and you played your same role, but it was cast in London. So they tend to do that here. They'll have a cat from Britain playing the Shy, and
Yes.
then Tori's
Yeah.
looking at it, and he's on the south side, like
Man.
this guy doesn't understand. You
You
know what
don't
I mean?
understand. Yeah,
Yeah, he don't
yeah.
understand that you wouldn't.
No,
No, you wouldn't allow
no,
that. Yeah, you can't.
no.
You
You
can't.
can't do it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
It's not the same. And even though I'm from there, even when I got cast, I remember, and I still do this. You know, times I go back, I'll go to a bar and just sit there and I'll
Mhm,
listen. And I'm listening. I want to hear
mhm.
conversations people have, and I'm picking up on little. Oh yeah, oh that was nice. That, you know, picking up on something I can use. You
Because
know,
it
when I first,
changes so fast in
it changes
Chicago.
so fast. It changes really, really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, my best friend, I tell him this all the time, but a lot of my character I picked up because when I went back, I would hang out with him,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like listening to him and looking at his mannerism. I'm like, I'm about to steal that shit, and
When
that's
I
what
go back
happened.
home, bro, I'll be telling Tori this all the time. Man, people in Chicago are funny, even when they're not trying to
Oh,
be. Like you could just
hilarious.
be at the grocery store and the lady's helping you and she's hilarious. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
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 I just
yeah.
find
It's
myself laughing like, man, you guys are just
oh
theatrical, maybe is a better term, but
man,
entertaining,
yeah.
everything we
It
do.
is. It is. I remember this motherfucker that was we was getting he was in the frozen section getting some pizza and the conversation he was having, it was just he said motherfucker about 14 times about the pizza. I was like, God damn, this shit is hilarious.
Oh man, love the city. All right, bro. All right, let's see. All right, I did want to ask you this, and I know my wife would kill me if I don't, because she's big into this. What went into developing Darnell, bro? Yeah.
Well, they had a description of the character. You know,
Mm-hmm.
was that he was you know, he was like a bit of a romancer back in the day, kind of a old school player. He wore, you know, velour suits and had an earpiece in his ear. That's what they gave me,
Yeah, everybody's uncle.
you know. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
okay. And but it was that he was, you know, he was a dad, he was taking care of his kids best he could. He had a lot of kids. But um and I got all that. I was like, okay, I get this character. And I mind you, just I had like three auditions for the role, three times I had to. And then before the third time, I was on the phone with the director for about 30 minutes. And we were just talking about the character, and I'm, you know, telling her like, you know, like I get this. You know, I have a son, older son. I got other kids. I said I know this. You know, I know I'm from the South Side. I get this character. I totally get it. And one, I think they wanted to I think they had it written where there was some comic relief in there, you know. Um, but I never saw the comedy as like slapstick, boom, boom, kind of, you know. He was Chicago funny, like we just talking about motherfuckers in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago. They just funny on
Mm-hmm.
shit they naturally do, and that's where I saw. I was like, oh, it's I don't have to try hard for the laugh. It's gonna come. I don't know if they saw it, but I saw it. And like I said a minute ago, like when I went back, I started hanging with my best friend, and hanging in the bars and stuff like that. And it was something about when you get the wardrobe and I put on the suits and the sneakers and it changed the way I walked. And I don't know if you noticed this too, but when I'm in Chicago, my wife always tells me, when I'm talking with my best friend, we start to talk a little slower. If we just talking about stuff, I ain't trying to move too fast.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
everything kind of comes down a little staggered. So and I picked that up. So I added that to just his mannerism, the way he speaks, and things like that. So, but it wasn't like something that happened overnight in the first episode. It was like about 2-3 episodes in where I was like, oh, I think I got this character. I understand this now, and it just kind of came, and I didn't even realize that I was developing it. It just happened because I thought I was going to be my original contract was for 3 episodes. I only thought I had 3 episodes. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, let me go in and do this and bounce. And when in that first season I was there, the 3 went to 5. And then when the next season they was like calling me back, I still didn't hit me that I was a part of the show. I was like, oh shit, they calling me back. I didn't realize. I don't think it was like till like into my 3rd season there. I was like, oh, I'm part of the show.
Yeah.
This is
Hey,
craziness, but
but God is great, bro.
yeah.
I was gonna ask you this. So, because me and Tori was discussing this while we were waiting for you to pop in. So, as far as Darnell, now I know you get scripts, because y'all steady doing it. Is that how your character arc is going completely from the words, coming from the writers, or is it some of it is just like from your feel of what's coming at you based upon like what the other characters like how are you arching the character? Is it just organic? I guess that was my question. Is it organic, or is it all coming from the data that's coming from the writers?
It's coming from the paper. It's coming from the paper, but we also, because I've lived the character for a couple of seasons, that when even a smart director will kind of listen to the because the directors come and go. So
Right.
when we get to set, a smart director will ask sometimes like, well, what do you see? How do you feel? This, that, the other. Some things aren't written in the script. If we're in a scene, um, I'm sitting there, maybe I'm having a conversation. I think I'd be having a cocktail right now. They'll bring in, maybe I'll be holding, cocktail, maybe, something like that. It's just there's certain things that could be in there, but sometimes I think I brought this up to you too. That I think in season 3 I was having a conversation with Emmett, my son, and I think they wrote, I was just saying to him, oh nigga, you can't figure out how to do this, that, the other. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't want to say nigga. I don't want to say nigga. I don't want America to think that
Fathers are
we as
calling their
black
sons.
calling their sons nigga.
Yeah. Because a lot of fathers don't even use the word, nevertheless, to their son.
To the son.
Yeah.
And not only it's not only us watching, it's white, all different races. So
Yeah.
I said, man, I don't want to do that. So I remember saying, I think I talked to the script supervisor and just said, I'm not gonna say that. And she was a little white lady. She wasn't gonna tell me, no, you gotta say nigga. So I said,
mess around, went viral.
I just said, I just switched it to boy. Boy, you can't figure out how you this, that, the other. And she was like, okay. And
she liked
I think
that.
I may have done it like maybe once or twice. And then next thing I knew, in the script, they start writing
boy
in my character to say boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a whole thing that developed that where I would call. I think I start calling Jada, my ex-wife now. I start calling her woman. Oh, woman, you can't figure. It was just a thing. It was a thing that I felt like the character would say is, and now they write it. They call me saying that her woman to him, boy. It's a man thing, and I felt like that was more appropriate because niggas all through the script.
Right.
Fellas calling each other nigga, and like they don't need it right here.
Right.
And I'm glad that I did make that choice.
Yeah, that's we did a whole show on that on the N word, but that's a whole thing, it's you know what I mean? It's a whole thing because then when I do go home, I do hear it a lot, and so it just depends,
I
like you
mean,
said, where you're
and
at.
I'm not gonna say I'll never say it.
Right.
Usually, if it's with my boy,
Right.
but not. I don't call my son that.
Right.
Hey, you know what I mean?
Right. Right. All right. Self Love, you got something for him? Yeah, that's it for this.
Any professional advice or words for peers in the industry?
Yeah, peers, people already in the game.
Peers already people in the game.
Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't never give up. Keep there could be ups and downs, but don't always believe in yourself. And the relationships that you make are gold. I think that sometimes you could be in a place or you could be working on something and you may be thinking, oh, this is not, but you never know where that relationship is going to take you. You could be working with an inexperienced director, producer on a, independent short little film or whatever the case may be. And that person could end up making the next Academy Award film.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So be professional. Always, because your reputation is gonna follow you. But if you're working and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, someone can be like, hey, you work with this guy Rolando on this project. How was he? Oh, professionals could lead you to another job. So I always feel like the relationships that you met on set and with directors and writers, and it carries weight. I share a quick little story. So one of my good friends out here, when I met him when I first came out, and he was a writer, and he had a project that him and his boy were doing, and I went in and auditioned, and he was blown away by my audition. Him and his wife, and I didn't get it because I guess the guy who was doing it, he wanted to bring in somebody else or whatever the case may be. But I was like, oh, it's cool, it's no problem. But they love my audition. Years go by, and his writing game picks up. He ends up working on NCIS LA. Moved up in the writing, he's still a writer, but he became a producer. And when I would sometimes I would do a play. I'd invite him. He'd come see my work. This, that, the other. We still boys. So when The Shy came out, I remember watching it, and I was trying to figure. I was like, man, this is a great ass show. I got to try and figure out how to get on this show. And my initial reaction, because I had just done a guest star on Scandal with Kerry Washington. It was their last season, and I was like, man, when this comes out, I'm gonna get a clip. And I was one of the producers on The Shy, Shelby Stone. She produced Trap in the Closet. I'm like, I'm gonna take this clip. I'm gonna get it to Shelby. I'm gonna try and pitch my way on the show. I don't know. And my boy called me, and I called him because I had an audition for NCIS, and I was like, if you know the writers, can you put a word in? He's like, yeah, no problem. He's like, but I was gonna tell you I'm about to leave NCIS, and it was a pause, and I was like, you leaving? Because I'm thinking, man, I know you're making a killing over there. And he's like, yeah, I just got hired by Fox 21 to help develop and go on different shows and help out. And the first one I'm going to is The Shy. I was like, I was just trying to figure out how to get on The Shy. And he was like, man, yeah. He said, let me get in there. We have another mutual friend who's a writer, and he's like, first of all, I want to try and see, because he was going in as number 2 producer on The Shop. He's like, I got to try and bring him on because he's from Chicago, used to be a cop. It's like his knowledge of the city. If I can get it, I'm gonna try and bring him on. About 2 weeks later, my boy calls me and he's like, man, I just got hired on The Shop. I was like, I already know. So now they were trying to figure out how to bring me on because he had loved my audition, he knew my work, and that's how I started getting the audition. I got the audition for Darnell, and I had a couple of different auditions. And one of the things they weren't sure. They weren't sure if they thought I could pull it off. And he sent them an email like, on everything I know, this guy is gonna kill it. And if it wasn't for me, just going in on a little project that he was doing and just putting in the work that I keeping every time I did something, inviting him. I didn't know where he was going to turn up, but the relationship I built, made, and the impression I left on him made him know that I was going to be good. So that's why I say, like, you never know where you are and what you're doing, where it's going to lead you to something in the future. I'm sorry that took a long time to say
No,
that.
man. No. This is a long form podcast. We're just deferring to your time, so don't worry about that. We do this. That was fantastic, bro.
Yeah, that's the best advice I could tell people, man. It's like, your reputation it's gonna follow you, and if you showing up late to set, you having attitudes with everybody. Hey, how was this person? You don't want to work with him.
Stank for no reason. Stank every day for no reason. Right. Yeah, people don't have time for that.
Not when you can get somebody else.
You get in this role and you already run around like you're the A-lister. You know what I mean? They doing that for a reason because people are they're making people money just by their name, image, and likeness being attached to the thing, and they shouldn't be doing it. And a lot of them don't do it. Right.
So, I've been on sets where people have been in the game for a long time, and you get different. Some people may be a little stink, and it's fine. I'm not here to be a friend. I'm just here to work.
Right.
But when I get on the set and I see somebody I feel like they're an exceptional talent, and you're a cool person, man, kudos.
And
that's everything.
You don't mind recommending them or helping them, right?
No,
working with them on a set, right?
Yeah, that's everything. Yeah, like I said, I'm never trying to be your best friend, but we can have a conversation. We can,
not be stank.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the esoteric questions, bro. All right. So we do ask everybody these. So imagine you just said something that put me into this thought, but we ask everybody this. Imagine if we had a time machine and we were able to take you back. It's your 8th birthday. You might be in Lake Meadows sitting at the dining room table or the kitchen table, and the cake is burning with your 9 candles, and they tell you, make a wish and blow out the candles, right? And you wish that you can meet yourself today, right? And that's what you wish. You blow out the candles, time freezes, nobody else can see you, but now you're whisked from your chair and you're in Lake Meadows or wherever you was at 8 turning 9, and you're right there looking at your 9-year-old self. What bit of advice would you say to the 9-year-old you?
Oh boy. I would tell myself to be a good person, to do right by people, and to do what you love to do, and to never give up. even when things don't look the greatest, to never give up. Because,
Powerful.
yeah, I think that, I think we've all gone through, I've gone through some really sad and depressing times in my life. And, you could think all kinds of things, man. Unfortunately, the mind can really play tricks on you. And you think like this is the lowest of low, but it's going to get better. It's going to get better. It's going to get better.
All right. So recommend a book to the Self Love Nation.
Well, I was already telling y'all about Black Voices. I still say that if anybody wants to pick that up, it has so much great poetry and short stories and it's just beautiful. It's incredible. But my favorite all time book is Autobiography of Malcolm X.
Man.
So I'll have to, I'm sure it probably was already out there a couple of times, but I'll just have to put it out there. That's my favorite.
That should be mandatory reading in the Black community.
Mandatory.
Man.
Mandatory.
Every book.
That and A Caged Bird Sings.
Yeah.
For a young girl, The Caged Bird Sings.
I'll throw well, this might be a little controversial, but a message to the Black man in there.
Yeah, mandatory.
Certain readings
mandatory.
for young Black boys.
Yeah.
You process that how you're gonna process it, son. You know what I mean? But you need to get this information so that you ain't out here with your nose wide open. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, you can work hard and come to work and be professional and be cordial and all of that, and and you find the right ones, and and you move like that. So, but all right. Recommend a Black-owned restaurant. It could be anywhere on the planet.
Oh, okay. I gotta go with my boy Eric. What's Eric's last? Eric Williams in Hyde Park on 53rd, Virtue on 53rd and Harper. Eric Williams. I think I want to say his name is Williams.
Over there,
Incredible
Harper
restaurant.
Court.
Have you ever been there? Yeah.
Harper,
have you ever been there?
Is that? I don't know if it's the same place. I know me and Tasia sat down at a restaurant that was there, but I don't know if it changed hands because we sat down and had like some steak or something over there. It was good, but I don't know if it's. But that was so long ago, bro. I think it's changed hands since then.
I think he's been there for
how long?
I don't know how many. I know he's been there for a few years, but the atmosphere is incredible. The art he has on the wall, the music you're listening to while you're eating. Most of the staff is Black. All the chefs are Black.
Yeah, that's how it was when we went. I don't know if it's the same place, bro. But the food was good, and it wasn't too overpricey. Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, not too bad. Not too bad. But he's a great guy, incredible guy. We actually shot a scene of The Shine there a couple of seasons ago.
Okay.
That's how I got a chance to meet him. But yeah, I love his restaurant, man.
All right. We got 4 yes/no questions for you. Is there a God?
Yes.
Have you ever seen anything supernatural?
No.
Have you ever seen a UAP, unidentified flying object or unidentified aerial phenomenon?
No.
Have you ever seen an alien?
No.
Did human walk on the moon at any time in human history, to your knowledge, specifically during the Apollo project?
Like in the 769, whatever that was?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
It's crazy how many people don't think so, bro. It's unbelievable how many people don't think so.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
No worries.
I'm listening.
All right. So here's the magic box question. All right. Imagine if Brother Wordsmith over there gave you a magic wooden box. It's ornate, right? It's made out of Hollywood and acacia wood. And it has a singular red button on the top of it. Now, God forbid that a person whom you love the most and would have the most difficulty living without had acquired a rare and terminal illness that they were suffering dearly from. I mean, crying out in pain to you, you know, and death was imminent. What if Brother Wordsmith over there informed you, dog, all you got to do is just press that red button on that box I gave you. That's all you got to do is press the button. And your loved one would be out of pain, 100% cured. But, Rolando, remember, you know, your great-great-grandkids could be watching this. But remember, a person whom you do not know and would never meet would then suffer the exact same fate as your loved one. Do you press the button and end the pain?
You're talking about a loved one, real near and dear to me. My wife, kids, something like that.
Pain. Daddy, help me, you know, crying out. And all you got to do is push the button and they're cured. And some random person on earth would then get the same thing, and their dad or mom or whatever would, of course, be feeling the same thing you're feeling.
I think I'm pushing that button. I hate to, because I don't like to hurt nobody else. If it's one of my loved ones, I'm sorry. I think I might be pushing that button.
Hey, I'm so messed up. I told Tori I'm not pushing the button, but then I said, if it's me in pain, I think I might push the button. Like, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, God forgive me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm like, that kind of pain. So I'm messed up in the head.
Yeah, that's now if it was me, I probably wouldn't. But I'm talking about one of my I
hear
don't
you.
like to see.
That's why I
don't
said
even
I'm
like to
messed
see
up
my
in the
kids
head.
when they got a cold. I thought you were gonna say push the button and I take their pain. I'd push it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. But no, that's not the option. That's not the option. Everybody would, most people probably would take that option. I will tell you this, 50-50. Some say they'd push it. Others say they wouldn't.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Tori happened to say he'd push it.
Tori said he would.
Yeah, Tori said he'd push it.
Yeah. I think I'd be pushing that button too.
The question is morphed and got a lot bigger, but
it's gotten a little more intricate, but the same premise applies. I mean, you know what I mean? You said you'd push the button. You still haven't come out and said you wouldn't. You know what I mean? So you still haven't, since the question has changed.
I mean, I'm just saying.
All
I
right.
would.
All right, here we go. We save the best for last, bro. What's the meaning of life?
The meaning of life. To love one another.
You know, that's what my grandmother told us on her deathbed. Yeah. That's what she said. Yeah.
It's, you know,
after all her living.
Money and all that stuff don't mean nothing, man. But love each other, and share love, and be kind to one another is that's what makes the good world go round to me. You know.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, my heart and my condolences to your grandmother. I'm not sure what it was.
Oh yeah, I mean it was a while back, but thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
but that's what she told us. Like, love one another. I mean, that seems like the only point, you know, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, man, all this other stuff don't even matter.
You know, you said something about stuff we learned, and I remember I was a kid and I was picking up papers, and my mom was like, you know, you can't pick up all the paper, you know, rest her soul. You know what I mean? I'm like, but why not? You know, if everybody picked up the paper, it seemed like a simple premise. If everybody picked up everything they saw, there'd be no paper on the ground. Yeah, but we'd never get to where we're going. Whatever. You know, you just can't, you know, your hands are getting dirty. It was just, you know, it's not practical to walk down the street and stop when I'm driving. But, you know, just what if everybody did that though? You know?
I agree with you 100%.
The energy it takes to say,
my house.
Go ahead.
If I see something anywhere in my house, if I see stuff around my house, man, I'm definitely picking it up.
Yeah, because the energy it takes to say, oh man, somebody threw this down, you could have just picked it up.
If I'm in the grocery store, I see stuff, oh man, somebody could trip and fall. Get this up for somebody fall on this. You know what I mean? It's very simple.
The genius of the whole statement is that if everybody did that, there would not be anything to pick up.
There wouldn't be anything to pick up.
There it is.
The jackasses who are throwing it down would see, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just such a jackass. Everybody else is picking it up, and I'm just
Right.
right. All right, but we got a 60-second game. This one's called the Self Love Arc, and it only takes 60 seconds, bro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a pair. I'm gonna give you a pair of items, and now you have to select which item you would want more than the other item. So you might not like either of them, right? But take the lesser of two evils. You may have to choose the lesser of two evils.
The one I would like more.
Yes. And you can pass twice and still consider win the game. But if you have to pass more than twice, you lose. I think we've only had one loser, and that was last week. That was one of Self Love's guests. Came out here and lost, but I think he fixed it. And I don't know, but all right, here we go. All right, let me get the timer going for you, bro. All right, here we go. This should be fun. South side, west side.
South side.
Uncle Remus, Harold's Chicken.
Harold's.
Kobe Bryant, LeBron James.
Kobe.
Giordano's or Italian Fiesta on 71st, right off Bennett.
Italian Fiesta.
I hit you with the one over there too. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. All right, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X?
Malcolm X.
Common or Black Thought?
Common.
Nas's Illmatic album, Tribe Called Quest, Low End Theory.
Nas.
Anarchy or Tyranny? Anarchy or Tyranny?
Anarchy.
Oath breaking 12, oath breaking police officer, or a carjacking Pookie?
Carjacking Pookie.
B.I.G. or Tupac?
Ooh.
B.I.G.
Pac.
I heard Pac. All right, we're almost at the end. Justin Fields or Caleb Williams?
Justin Fields.
Minister Society or Love Jones? Yeah.
Love Jones.
Self ain't heard that one yet. I wonder what Tori's gonna answer on that one. Yeah, man, huh? What? All right, two more. Sidney Poitier or Denzel Washington? You still got two passes.
Denzel.
All right, here's the last one. You can get through this with no pass. Build a wall. Open borders.
Open borders.
Simple enough. And this is a humanitarian, and he stayed consistent. That was fantastic. He got through all of them. Self Love, all of them.
Man. The toughest one was Sidney or Denzel.
And he brought up Sidney. I had already had it lined up. I was like,
know.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Without no Sidney, without Sidney, there would not be no Denzel.
And Denzel would say that.
Yeah, but his catalog is what Denzel, Yeah, that was a tough one. I'm probably waking in the middle of the night about that one. Changing my mind. Sidney.
Well, it's like somebody asking you Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing at this point?
Yeah, I mean, most people cave and pass on some of them because they can't see past that. But
I could choose one or the other.
Yeah, he tells you
man, you make choices. I see.
That's hey, bro, sure. did you get a role in that? What is it? Beverly Hills Cop. Eddie's coming. I can't wait to see that, man. Beverly Hills Cop,
I wish I did. I wish I did. I would love to. You know what? Actually, I did meet him one time, but I mean, I would love to meet him.
Yeah,
not just see him. I should say I saw him once before, but I would love to meet him. I wish I had a role on that, man. Yeah, I'll meet that brother one day.
He's got to be a hilarious cat, man. We had his brother on the show, Vernon. He's had on the show. Yeah, he's a producer. Yeah.
I saw that on the clip.
Yeah, yeah.
He was a
He
rapper
said,
too,
yeah, he said Eddie told him hip hop was going to be a fad.
Was a
Yeah,
That
he
is
said,
hilarious.
he got a deal with Clap Davis and made some
That's
music.
crazy. That's
Learn
But
how to
that's,
crazy.
do it.
you talk about bad advice from a genius, right? No, that's going to be a
Exactly.
fad. You don't want to get involved in Microsoft. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah. All right, bro.
What's
But
up, man? Oh yeah.
yeah, unless you had, anything else you wanted to add, man, anything you want to, like, any big ups, shout outs, or anything you
Anything you
promoting.
promoting?
Look,
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all having me on here, man, and being so real, man. It just sometimes um like funny about interviews because I'm like, I don't either they don't know who they don't know you, or be so off topic. This was real, especially y'all, we all South, we Chicago, so it's like, man, this just felt like I'm just talking with my boys, man. So I appreciate y'all having. We're going back to shooting. I think I told you that we're going back to shoot at the beginning of the year. So we have half of the season to finish up for season 6. So we'll be finishing that up probably by March or something like that, and hopefully we get buzz, we get the word for another season, and just keep riding this out. And 2024 looking good so far, man. Looking good so far.
Yeah, and hey, and I'm not gonna ask you to tell them you feel like your son should give you the Self Love Show greatest dad mug for the show.
Right,
The
right,
Self
right,
Love Show on YouTube, greatest dad.
right. Greatest damn, man.
I feel like I should be drinking out of the Self Love Show mug.
Exactly. Hey, if I have one, I'm gonna hold it up on set. Shit.
I'm just tripping, but man, bro. But yeah, we really appreciate you doing this, bro. When I hollered at him, he was like, "Yeah, I'll hop on, man." Like a lot of people, like, man, they, not saying they should or shouldn't. I ain't, judging at all, but yeah, he was like, "Yeah." I told him about himself. He was like, "Yeah, I'll hop on, man." Like, we used to live in the same building. Tell you about
Wow.
small world.
Right. How it all works together.
Yeah.
Synchronicity. How it
You
all
remember the
Like I
relates
used
apartment
to
on
see you in the
together.
wash
Blackstone
in
too?
the laundry
Oh,
Same
room.
floor. The
wow.
same
Same
floor.
Are
floor,
you
man.
kidding me?
Ain't that
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Big city, small world. Same thing like you were
Yeah.
your advice to actors, when you're saying about Hollywood. Hollywood's a big city, but it's a small world.
It's
And you
about
don't
Oh,
know
everybody
you
because
don't
you
know
don't
who you're
know
talking
who,
to.
yes,
This
yeah.
key
or
grip
who they
right
gonna
here,
be.
yeah, could be
Yeah.
somebody's daughter or son. Like, just be
Yeah.
respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just be cool.
yeah.
And it's just in complete general because your neighbor, you don't know who that is or
You
who it could
don't
Yeah.
be.
know. You 6
Yeah.
degrees of
Yeah.
separation.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
even, in your
Maybe,
day-to-day life, you know, you know, if you're checking out at the grocery store,
yeah,
person that's cashier might have lost somebody really close to them. Like,
yeah,
treat them kind,
yeah,
treat them with respect. They might be having a hard day.
yeah.
Something that you
yes.
say could make them feel better about themselves, man. So it's,
Literally happened to me in my life. I mean, I'm not gonna
yeah,
tell the story, but I told Tori something like that happened, and somebody said some words to me, broke me down in tears, bro. I was a
Yeah.
full
hmm
grown man,
yeah,
So
yeah,
you're right, you're right. And had that
hmm
person said something negative, it probably would have went all south over nothing.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, most definitely, man.
yeah. But bro, we appreciate you, man.
Man, appreciate y'all love, man. Self
Man,
love.
yeah. Thank you very much.
You got it. You got it.
Love, honor, respect. Welcome to the Give Back Gang. He's in the Give Back Gang now.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah, he's in
The
the give back.
highest.
Yeah. Healthy people,
Appreciate you.
Hey,
heal people.
hey, we'll do it again. If anytime you want me back, man, just let me know, man. I'll come back on again.
I absolutely hit you up. I absolutely
What's
hit
up?
you up, bro.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
All right.
Peace and Happy New Year, fellas.
Yes, sir. Prosperity, good health.
Right on.
Yeah, that was I figured that'd be magnanimous, bro. Figured it'd be magnanimous, but I mean, what do you say?
Absolutely. Positively. I mean, he spoke his mind and his spirit. I'm an empath, so I felt it and I hear it.
And it's something about a conversation with a brother from the South Side. You know, that's why I said your boy Obama is South Side-ish. Well, I mean, your boy necessarily.
Well, I'm just saying, yeah.
South Side-ish, South Side like.
Yeah, he's very Harry Lennox-ish.
But my point is
who is Southside-ish, so yeah, I get that.
But he played the character pretty good. You know,
he's played the character.
Yeah, he did the best.
That's the thing, you know. But
under a microscope, everybody's like, "Oh no, there's no way." But this guy,
no, this guy's he's
you know, Southside.
Yeah, I've seen the character. I'm not up to date with the Shy, I must say. But early the episodes I've seen with him in were excellent.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Yeah, Ace watches it. He said
I
he
saw
loves
what
that.
he said on the show. He said, man, many of us can learn from that. So,
Yeah. Well, you know, Ace is a Southside dad. You're a Southside dad. You know, it definitely can bring some reality, you know, to a situation. But yeah, that was fantastic. We appreciate him doing this.
Oh man, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Like every show.
I was surprised he got through the whole, because there's some extra ones in there, because I had some extra ones I was going to take out of it.
Right.
He actually answered more than anybody.
He didn't need to. He was like,
he went with anarchy and
you
the
know what?
carjacking.
He went with
anarchy, carjacking, Pookie, and Tupac. It all lines up.
Right.
Justin
I love 99%.
Love Jones. I couldn't argue. I couldn't argue Love Jones over Menace to Society.
I appreciated that. Actually,
I couldn't argue.
It was in Chicago.
What's your answer to that question? Because you hadn't had that one.
Well, I mean, Love Jones is in Chicago.
That was dope. But it
my
had some New York in
age,
it. It did have some New York
but
in it.
it was in Chicago. It was set in Chicago. It was set on the scene of the poetry scene in Chicago. That's what it was set on.
Yeah. So, and Lorenz Tate was there. Did a nice job.
I'm just saying,
but you're right.
Early in my life, though, I'd have been like Menace to Society. Even though I like Love Jones.
Don't take nothing away. I'm not taking nothing away from Menace to Society.
Right. I'm just saying my mentality.
Don't you sit there and take nothing away from Menace to Society.
I'm not. I said my mentality.
I can watch that movie right now and be like,
when I was younger, I said my mentality when I was younger. That's what I would have said that.
It's still a great movie.
Yeah. Oh, both. That's why it's such a quagmire. You got to try to make a decision and say,
and they're different types. He had to come through with Love Jones being from the South Side. To your point. There's no way you can sit. And then the common and Black Thought that people sit. Ooh, that's a tough. But you're not gonna sit over there on the South Side and say Black Thought. It's tough.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna sit right over there on the Southeast side and say Black Thought?
Yeah.
All right. Sounds like he's gonna sit there and say Black Thought. Sounds like he's gonna sit there and say Black Thought. So y'all support the show. Support. Get your Showtime. Today, we had the pleasure of chatting with Rolando Boyce. He's an American actor who plays Darnell out there, the charismatic and outspoken father of Emmett. He shared with us his personal journey of growing up in Chi, his passion for acting, and his experience working on the Chi and character development insights. He's a talented and versatile actor who brings a lot of heart to the show. We hope you enjoyed this conversation this evening as much as we did. If you want to watch Rolando in action again, you can catch him on the Chi. It's on Showtime. I believe it's Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. I believe that's when it's on. You can follow him on social media. I'm sure he's out there here and there. Big ups to our newest Silverback. We won our Silverback. And the latest member of the Self Luv Show's exclusive Give Back Gang. Because healthy people heal thy people. If you have any feedback, questions, concerns, corrections, or suggestions for future episodes or, future guests, feel free to contact us in the comments or you can call or text 424-900-6945. We would love to hear from you and learn more about your thoughts and opinions. Remember, that's not what our culture can do for you, but what you can do for the culture. And as always, question everything. The Self Love Show ain't Kansas, Dorothy. Peer down that rabbit hole. Do your own research. Use caution and discernment, because sometimes when you stare into the abyss stares right back at you. Peace, self-love, honor, and respect. All right. I forgot to tell y'all, Brother Wordsmith, he did answer the riddle mid-show with the assist from Ace. And so they nailed it.
Honestly, complete assist. Because I was not even thinking in the direction.
Facts. Facts. Complete assist. So the answer to the riddle was pins and needles. Let me go back to it just to get it exactly what they were looking for. I didn't understand it completely. I thought
both singular.
Yeah. Pen and needle. Yes. Oh, well, that makes more sense. That you said it like that. Yeah. So, Ace, you got half of it, and due to your matriculation, the other guy from Leo got it too. So, good job, gentlemen. Working together, see what we can do. Great job. All right, and next week, we'll see what we come up with here. Don't know if I want to dig into those flights. Could be opening up a quagmire.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. And check us out on Mouthpiece Included before the Bears play. We're covering the Chicago Bulls playoffs. All right. That's where we cover politics. Anybody could pull up. But if you do pull up, don't forget to bring your mouthpiece out.
Don't believe me. Right. Don't forget your mouthpiece.
Yeah, don't forget your mouthpiece out there. But you're welcome to pull up and discuss politics. That's sports and politics. So
have your thick skin and your big boy drawers on, because it's not the same format as the Self Love Show.
When you come around talking about Justin Fields is high on the spectrum, we may have some conversation about that.
It's a debate. There can be some debate.
That's it.
That's all.
That's it. But this brings me to my personal favorite part of the whole shebang, and that's Wordsmith's final words out there. I'm gonna take it from the top.
It's the final words, but nothing's final. We have to go in a different direction and help the real protection of our culture, because people sneaking like a vulture. We had an example of manhood, Southside Chi-Town. That's how we get down. Rolando Boyce, top choice. Y'all know how it go. We are the voice for the unheard. He is an example of superb. This is how we grew up. So people be so jealous that they threw up. They get sick because they don't know why they can't be us. They're a victim of their own teaching. Not dealing with the style revealing. There is no ceiling. We can all do what we love and grow to a higher plateau so all can show you an example of what you have to do and go through. But you can imagine your own path. You understand the wrath and understand the half. And that's what really all about the math. That's what they didn't teach us. If we put it all together, we could all be top of the features. We just need to seek the thing that we love and want to grow to and find out what you need to go through to make it happen. Do it and pursue your magic. It's a manifestation. 369, and I don't know why you don't know. Information age, and it's out there for you for show. So grow. Let everybody know. It ain't for everybody though. You gotta have some determination, dedication, relevation, how to raise your nation. And that's your circle, 360. Can't divert you. You gotta think above yourself and have the ability to fight for the wealth, for your people, to take it to another level and be that rebel, because the system's got to end. And I don't even need no reason to pretend. Those words.
Words, words, words. Y'all check out my man Kai Zodiac. Man, know thyself. Know thyself.
Dope MC.
Do you think you are the one?
I tell you, it was cold.
Honestly, I don't know.
Scooter got some songs. Did he say that?
You know what that
What did he
means?
say?
Oh, yeah.
It's Latin. Means no.
Scooter chose. Support Scooter chose.
No doubt.
Bullets or boomerangs.
Stand your ground.
Murder is suicide.
Yeah, an eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
You see something, you probably need to say something.
12. Slave theory. Take some greed, add some ego, sprinkle in some fear, and now you got a slave.
Yeah. As far as I know, charity plus humility times love is freedom.
Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
Fear is an illusion. It's all cap.
All it is love.
And forgiveness is the highest love vibration.
So, do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end the beef.
Facts. Healthy people. Heal thy people.
Because we all know for sure hurt people gonna try to hurt people.
Man. in the dough. Free the old man, free Larry Hoop.
Free Jeff Fort, Chief Malik.
Free all the guys.
Prison is slavery on all my words I speak.
Yahushua. Walk on water.
That part. Move mountains.
Move a mountain, bro?
Yeah, bro. All we need is the face of a mustard seed. And you know, from where we've been, where we're going, we got way more than that. Look. It's smaller.
A mustard seed.
Yes, sir. It's smaller.
That's gonna be enough, babe?
Bro, it's smaller. Look. The last show.
That's a drone, ain't it?
It's smaller.
Putting the started everything up there in the sky is drones, man.
No, man.
Big ups, Matt Stoddard, man.
Yo, bro, it's smaller. It's getting shorter every week.
A little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love. You just know it. Through and through. Balls to bone.
You still got them?
Got mine.
Y'all stop the violence.